looked around at cottages. Well, there was no way we could afford any of the cottages, even the ones that were totally run down and garbage. We just couldn't afford them. And the guy at the realtor's office says, "Did you ever think about looking at bare land?" And I thought, no, not really, but I'm willing to look at it. The wife says, "I don't know about that. I wanted a cottage, you know." So we decided to go look at it. We found 2 different lots we liked. So I bought an 1.5 acres on the water, which is a river that goes into the lake, fully navigable. 1.5 acres. Of course, I've got neighbors, but I could have picked 2 better neighbors if I would have tried. And I paid $7,500 for this land, for an 1.5 acres. Excuse me. Now in today's money, that same lot runs over $100,000. So I think we made a good buy in those days. So then we would come up every weekend. I'd work until Friday night, and then we hop in the vehicle, come back up here on Saturday morning, start cleaning it out, because all it was is woods. There was nothing there. Not a road, nothing. So I met my new neighbors, and they offered to let me park in their driveway while we were doing this. And so on every weekend we come up and we start at the water and we start clearing land. Taking down trees, cutting brush, burning brush, you name it, we did it. Then we decided, well, we're going to bring the camper up so we have a place to stay, then we don't have to keep going back every night. So we brought the camper up and parked it in there. I had a guy in town push me a road in. So all he did was push the trees over and cut in a road. So we had to cut up all those trees and burn all that brush too. I built a little outhouse because there was no facilities, so I did that about a month after we bought the land, actually. I brought that up all apart on a trailer and assembled it, so we had an outhouse. So then we had the camper in there for about 2 years, I think, 2 summers, because the way the laws are here is if it isn't a permanent residence, you don't have to pay tax. But if you leave it on year round, then you have to pay taxes on it. So we pull it out every fall, and then we put it back in every spring. We did that for a couple years. And then we said we want a little more room. So I went and I looked for a house trailer. And I was just looking for a house trailer. Well, I ended up finding a good deal on a 14 by 16 trailer. Used, of course. Put that on the land. The trucker got stuck, so I went to get a guy with a cat to help set it and get him unstuck. When I got back, the trucker had dropped the trailer and was gone. Good thing Bob Kroll, the guy with the little cat, he helped set the trailer for me. Then I had to do all the leveling myself. It was not a fun proposition, and I let the people know that I bought it from what happened. I then built a deck that wrapped around from the side to the front of the trailer because we were almost 4 feet off the ground, and I didn't want just steps. In 1991, we decided we needed a garage. I worked every day, so I hired this out. It's a 24 by 24 garage. These guys were fantastic. They had this all done within a couple weeks, from the slab all the way up to the garage built. There's no way I could have got that done so quickly. Then I had to paint it, of course, because it's T111 siding. And then after I painted it, then because of the grade changed, I had to build a retaining wall around it in order to not have everything wash away. But we got it done, and it turned out pretty much the way I wanted it to turn out. As you can see here, I'm putting up some of the retaining wall around it. It was a big job, a lot of timber, a lot of hand digging, but we got it done. That's what it looked like when it was finished. When I first bought the place, I put in a cheap little 4-foot wide dock on PVC posts just so that my son would have a place to sit and fish. But then it was time to put in a better one. And so I called the family and friends, and they all came up to help me put in a new dock. This was August of 1994. It was a hard day, but they all worked great as usual. Again, I built all the dock sections at home in Green Bay, got the piping and all that from a junkyard, and then hauled it up on a trailer. The guys were really great. As you can see here, they're putting the first section on a big inner tube in order to get it in position and not have to carry the weight. It worked very well, but not as well as we would have liked when we first started doing it. So here they're putting it into the position. These guys didn't have to come up and do this for me, but they all volunteered to come up and give me a hand. I really appreciate it. I appreciate them to this day for everything they've done for me. Here we're setting it on the shoreline to get it lined up. Moving the tube around so I help support it. And then the problem of putting in the posts comes in. I apologize for the quality of this, but it's a copy of a copy of a VHS tape. So I get what I get here, and as you can see, there's some problems with it, but Here they're pounding in the first post. The rest of them are sitting trying to hold it and take the vibration from pounding. Then we had a smaller pounder that we would finish it off with. Again, this took a lot of hours to do. Now here they had to hold the thing up while they put the pounder on because David, the guy on the left, he's the tallest one around, so he was able to get it on for us. And then they all went back to holding the dock while they pounded that post in. It's quite a process. A person doesn't realize how much work that takes. I sit here and look back at this movie, and I'm surprised at how much work we put into just putting in a simple dock. Here we're working on the section 2. First section is in, and now we're putting the section 2 in. Now we're floating in section 3. This is the cross section to make an L. Again, the procedure is the same. You just got to keep pounding post, pounding post. We got to a point where everybody's arms were so tired that it was really getting difficult to even pound the post down. Because of the deeper water, the posts had to be longer and longer. Pretty soon we had to use a step ladder just to get the pounder on them. But here it is, the first 3 sections are in, and we're getting ready to put in the 4th. The posts or the pipes were random lengths that I got at a junkyard. So on some of them, like here now, they're just too long. So Greg, my brother-in-law, he cut them down to make them a little shorter so they're more manageable. The guys that are in the water, they were not only holding up the dock, but they were holding up the 2 people pounding the post too. So that's why you see them walk back and give the guys in the water a break, because a heck of a job for them to hold that dock up with 2 people on it, plus the weight of the dock. So you take turns and pound the post, and then go and give them a break so they could get some feeling in their arms again, and then go to the next post and do the same thing. We were just about finished pounding the last post. Everybody's arms are so sore from pounding the post that we're taking turns just to get that last post done. But all in all, it was a good job, and they all did a great job on it. And the dock has lasted for many years, so we must have did something right. In 1999, the first garage just wasn't big enough. So I contracted to have a pad put in, and I built the new garage all myself, except I had my family and friends again come up to help me put the roof on. It was like 95 degrees that day, and these guys were up there just working away. I can't say how much I appreciate what they've done. I built a small room in the corner of this garage. I'll explain later what it was for.